Alright, today I'm going to show you that Tarragon aioli that I had under those delicious salmon cakes. And you'll read on the blog today the entire story of what makes aioli aioli. Really interesting article today. I hope you check that out along with the ingredients. But anyway, here's the key. It ain't aioli unless you're using one of these mortar and pestles. Okay, so the bowl's the mortar and the pestle is the pestle. And that's the garlic. I'm going to use some tarragon in this, so I picked about 3 of those sprigs. You give it a little chop. I like to put a little bit of acid in my aioli, so fresh lemon juice always a nice choice. You can do a dash of vinegar if you want, but I got about a couple teaspoons of fresh lemon juice there. Now, before you start crushing this garlic in your mortar, you want to give it a little slice. First of all, it's going to crush a lot faster, a lot easier. If you throw the whole chunks in there, the first time you hammer it with the pestle, it flies out. It probably hits you in the eye. You'll probably try to sue me. So anyway, you're going to chop it up, and you're also, for a little more friction, give it a pinch, about 1/4 of a teaspoon of coarse salt or kosher salt, something with a little grain to it, and that really, really helps the crushing process. Now, when it's about halfway crushed, sort of like that, go ahead and add your herb, because this is a tarragon aioli, and I want to pulverize that herb along with the garlic. And like I said, the interesting thing you'll read today on the site is the chemical reaction that happens when you use this method to make aioli. And I don't want to give too much away, it's kind of a tease, but it actually forms a new compound that I won't try to pronounce right yet, but it's the true taste of raw garlic. Alright, so once the herb and the garlic were crushed completely, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. You can use homemade, you can use store-bought, doesn't matter, it's going to be delicious in this. I'm not sure if I've posted my homemade mayonnaise clip on the site. If I haven't, I will. So add about 1/2 cup of mayo, and then give it a splash of your lemon. Again, I probably got about 2 teaspoons here. If you had a little bit of tarragon vinegar, you could also add a dash of that instead. And then you're going to mix this up. I'm going to use a whip here, and just make sure it's all mixed together well. Now, you know what? I either need a bigger mortar or a smaller whisk. So that's not really working. But I'm going to press on because it's starting to come together, and I'm giving up. I'm going to grab a spoon and finish mixing this up. Now, because you crushed everything in that mortar, make sure you give the bottom a good scrape. Again, I got a nice high quality marble mortar and pestle, and that is amazingly delicious. Alright, now one last little addition here. You know, I got to have my cayenne. So a small pinch of cayenne. Not too much, maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon, a little shake, and then we're done. Okay. Now, again, I want you to read the article on the blog about the chemical reaction, what happens when you crush garlic. But that really, really what makes true aioli. All right. If you chop garlic and throw it in mayonnaise, if you put it in a blender, even if you use a garlic crusher, you're really not smashing every cell in that garlic clove. And that's what needs to happen for those different compounds to react that gives you this intense, almost hot, raw garlic flavor. Health benefits, unbelievable. Calorie benefits, a little bit goes a long way. A teaspoon of this swiped on a plate, enough for a whole chicken breast. All right, you go in a restaurant, you order the fries with the aioli dip. You get like 1/2 cup of mayo. I'm not supposed to eat that much mayo. Come on, even I know that. So anyway, I hope you try this method. I hope you go out and buy one of those mortars and pestles. Not very expensive, and most of all, enjoy.